this is Melanie. Welcome to this video course on time management. I've learned about time management on two courses that I've done, relaxation therapist and life coaching. So just a little bit about me. I have my own business. I do therapies, massage treatments for people. I've also done courses and workshops both at the community library and also for the Recovery College, which I've done for nearly 4 years now. It doesn't seem that long, but it has been 4 years. I'm also a writer. I have written one book, and my second book is going to be published shortly. So that's a little bit about me. If you've done my stress management course, which is also on the website, it'll show you, you'll find that there is sometimes a little overlap with that. But that's okay, because I think time management is also part of managing our stress as well, if we can manage our time. So I'll just have a quick look at my notes. The three main tips for time management, although there are others which we'll come to, but the three main tips for time management for me are simplify, prioritise and delegate. So just a little bit about those three. Simplify, try and keep things simple and straightforward, so we don't get caught up in the rat race of life, which can make us feel more stressed. If we keep things simple, then there's going to be less amount of stress, I think. Prioritise what's important, what needs doing first, so it doesn't become like a mountain, and then you become overwhelmed. Take and like with a large project that you might have to do, try and break it down into small steps, into smaller tasks, or do them on different days, so you don't get too frustrated or too fed up. Also with prioritise, you could make a list, write down what is important to do first, or and try and work with that. Delegate where possible. It's not always possible, but if you can, so that it doesn't all fall on your shoulders, so that you have people who will help you, ask for the help if you need to. Right, tips on time management. As I say, I think it's always best if you can try and keep it simple, keep it straightforward. So the first tip is plan your day in advance, preferably the day before, and then it doesn't get like too much in your head. I know sometimes I can get like little things in my head go a little bit out of control, and so by planning my day, I know what I'm doing, and that kind of helps minimize any kind of stress. Sort out what you need the night before. That's what I do anyway. Otherwise I'd be rushing around on a morning, and that wouldn't be helpful. So if you sort out, maybe pack your bag the night before, then there's like less rush. 2, make good use of your diary balancing work with other parts of your life so that you have some enjoyment too. And I mentioned that in the stress management, so that you can have time for you. And I think that is part of time management as well. Finding those times that you can put in, and you put in those times for you, because that is important, and that can be part of your time management. We'll talk a little bit more about that later in the next part, but at the moment we're doing the various tips for time management. So 3, everything takes a lot longer than planned, especially if you're clearing out a room. If you're anything like me, I start looking at what I'm trying to sort out and start reading things, and it all takes a lot longer than planned. So add extra time to allow for delays. And that's like what I think I've just mentioned as well. You don't have to do it all on the one day. You can think, well, I'll do this bit of cleaning this day, I'll do that bit of cleaning another day. 4, don't take on too much. We all know what our levels are, and sometimes we want to please people. We're genuinely helpful by nature, and you end up saying you'll do this, you'll do that. But sometimes it's a good thing to just think, when someone asks you to do something and you're not too sure, instead of rushing in and saying yes, I'll do that. It's hard sometimes saying no, but you could say to them, well, I need a little bit of time to think about that, and then make your decision when you're not pressured to make an instant decision. So that's that. And also, like we've mentioned, don't take on too much, and delegate where possible. Ask for help where needed. 5, manage your energy levels. If you're too tired, stop what you're doing or have a break, which is hard because you sometimes think, oh, I've got to get this done, and I want to get this done before this time, etc. And it's hard if you're in the middle of something as well to stop. But just, if you could just take a few minutes just to have a little break, and just like sit and just have a few minutes to yourself, or just take note of what's in the room and get some sort of inspiration from that before you carry on. But allow I know sometimes you've got to get things done, but try and allow some time for relaxation too. It's important. 6, don't expect too much of yourself either. We put high standards on ourselves sometimes, especially if we're doing something which is for somebody else, and we think, oh, it's got to be done by a certain time, by a deadline, or we've really got to get this done. But try not to expect too much of yourself, because you're only human, and if you are doing something for somebody else, they surely will understand that as well. And don't expect too much of anyone else either. It works that way too, because not everything has to be perfect. So another puncture, number 7, is yeah, I've just mentioned this actually. Don't say yes to everything. Give yourself time. to consider it. And if it's hard to say no, say I'll think about it and I'll get back to you later. 8. Find time to be with the people you love. Put that into your time management as well. Invest in quality relationships, the relationships that matter. Give priority to family and social occasions and friendships. And it's important that you incorporate this into your life and into your time management as well, because that really does matter and make a difference, to have those people in your life. And this ties in with what I said about managing number 9. This ties up with managing what I said about your energy levels. If you feel a bit of eye strain coming on, often when you're working at a computer, try and stop what you're doing. Press the palms of your hands gently into your eyes and breathe deeply for like 1 minute or even 30 seconds. Just, if you've got glasses on, you'll have to take them off, and just place your palms and over your eyes and breathe deeply, and that can actually help with the eye strain. Right, next bit is quality time. What I touched on just in the tips for time management. Time to yourself can be hard to find, especially in this day and age, and when there's like work, family, partners or friends to think about or worry about. But it's essential to have some time to yourself in order to gather your thoughts, feel relaxed and prepare for the next task. Arrange certain tasks that are reserved for you alone, either sitting quietly or doing something you enjoy or being in nature, and letting that feed your soul. A friend calls it splendid solitude, and I've really adopted that because I think splendid solitude's a lovely way of putting it. And I think both you and others will benefit if you are more relaxed. This is a lovely quotation I have, which I think about quite a bit. Everything can be done better from a place of relaxation. If you have that relaxation, things become easier. Things can be done in a more productive way. Maybe not easier, but things can become done in a more productive way if it's from a place of relaxation, rather than if you're all tense and everything's going around in your head and you're worrying and everything. If you can just calm it down and just have that relaxation, and things hopefully will flow a bit better. And remember to spend quality time, not just with yourself, but with your friends or your family, or the people that you love. Right, just a few more little quotes that I've come across about time and relaxation. Time is nature's way of preventing everything from happening at once. You can only cope with so much. Bear that in mind. The future, though seemingly empty, may in fact be richer than the richest parts of your past. You just don't know. You just don't know what's going to happen. just felt a bit needed some water there. Right. Right. Also about time management. It's also about setting goals and compartmentalizing, which is a long word. Time management is about setting goals carefully and then arranging tasks into high and low priority, depending on how it relates to those goals. We must ensure that we plan how we can meet the deadlines as well as work on long-term goals. So we've got short-term goals, things which need to be done quite quickly, short-term goals, but we've also got longer-term goals, and we've got to keep that in mind. And it's always good to have an idea of what our long-term goals are, and then the shorter-term goals around that. What the long-term goals are, if we know that, and then again it's like which I think I've mentioned, breaking things up into tasks, your short-term goals to get to that long-term goal. And then also you have our long-term goals, but we've also got other short-term goals that we have to do and we have to fit in. So just to be aware of those things. Assertiveness and delegation, which we've mentioned, are also crucial. We should delegate as much of our low priority work as possible, because there's certain things which only we can do, but if it's something which which can be shared, then that is helpful, not to feel we've got to do it all ourselves. Any low priority work to share, and that could be an enjoyable thing as well, because you could be working with somebody else or a small group of people, and that becomes a nice thing. Yeah. So that's about setting goals. Next, about compartmentalizing. Bit of a mouthful, but it basically means just having times or compartments in our days devoted to different things, like having slots. So for instance, focusing on work or a voluntary job when you're there, but then being able to leave it behind when you come back at the end of the day. Stop thinking about work and focus on the family, friends, sports, hobbies and relaxation. And that's also about mindfulness in a way, like living in the present moment. Just to have certain times when you're doing certain things and then you leave the rest behind. Hard to do if you're really worried about something or anxious about something, but it can be helpful to have those different slots, as I call them. And we should also have separate time compartments for lunch breaks, and even annual leave if you're in a job situation. Now, another thing which I think might be quite helpful is writing an activity log. You write down your activities during the day, and you can put the time, the activity, and then how you feel. And so you write what you've done, and then you rate how you feel beside it. You could maybe decide to do that 3 times a week, or twice during the week and once at weekend, or even busy days versus quiet days, and how you feel about both, how you feel about each. And this will help you to see what you enjoy the most, how this could maybe be increased, but also what isn't very helpful, what could possibly be decreased or eliminated. So you write your form, time, activity, how you feel, and just put things in that you do during the day and what you think about them. I've done this, and I don't mean do it every single week. I just did it for 1 week to twice during the week and once at the weekend. And I found it quite interesting because it did help me feel that helped. I thought, well, that thing helped me feel better. So can I do more of that? Can I increase that in my life? And also what wasn't helpful, what I felt maybe not quite right about or a little bit on the low side about, can I try and do less of that? So it was quite an interesting exercise for me to do as well. So it's like, I don't know if you can see it, time, activity, how I feel, and then you just write down what you think. Okay. Right. Well, we're nearing the end of our talk about time management. So I'm just going to read a few little quotes. Some of them are about slowing down. It's called Hurry Up and Slow Down, because I think slowing down can be part of time management as well. You take time out for yourself, you take time to do things. So I've got, nature doesn't hurry, yet everything is accomplished. Yeah, it goes at its own pace, but it works itself out. Food for thought. Life is lived today, not tomorrow. For fast-acting relief, try slowing down. And this one's good, which you may have heard of before. Never get so busy making a living that you forget to make a life. Find 5 minutes, or more if you can spare it, every day in which to do absolutely nothing at all. Just to sit there, just to gather your thoughts and then get on. Remember to allow yourself plenty of rest, especially when there are likely to be more demands on your time. Rest for a moment between tasks. So that's the end of the time management. I hope you found it helpful. I do think there's lots of different things to consider, but those 3 things, 3 tips at the beginning, or it's what sticks out for me. Simplify, prioritise, and delegate if possible. And I think that really helps. It's helpful to me anyway, to try and keep things simple, and to prioritise what I need to do in certain orders, and then the other, delegate as well. Realise that it's not all on your shoulders. Yeah. Okay. well, thank you again, and best wishes to you on your journey. Okay, bye now. Bye.